art gallery is scheduling 5 consecutive week-long exhibitions, each featuring one of 5 local artists. So our local artists are J.K. L, N, and O. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
During the opening reception for each exhibition, one of 5 musicians, so now we have our little fancy musicians. So we have T, V, W, Y, and Z will perform. Okay. Each artist will have only one exhibition, and each musician will perform during only one opening reception. The schedule blah blah meets the following constraints. Okay, so this is what we call a double sequencing game.
Mm-hmm.
Or a double ordering game, which is exactly what you described. You kind of made a chart thing.
Okay.
Where essentially, I also call this matching.
Yeah.
You're pairing them up.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, we're going to put at the top here, we're going to put who are the top? Our artists.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're also going to have our musicians, I believe. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, so then we're going to go ahead and start with rule number 1, where it says the Jackson exhibition is earlier than the K exhibition, which is earlier than the L exhibition. So we have J, then K, then L. Did you have this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I'm going to put a little dot by them just so I know I have one rule containing to them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rule number 2. T performs earlier than V, who performs earlier than W. All right, well, that's nice. So we just have T before V before W. Wilson does not perform in the 4th week. So here, I would just come in and just put Wilson here and cross it off.
Mm-hmm.
But I also take an extra second here to think about what this means. Where else can Wilson not go?
He can't go in 1.
Excellent. Or
2.
I'm like, so that's really helpful. So I know there's only 2 spots that Wilson can potentially go. All right, so let's go on to rule number 4, which says Yoder does not perform at the N exhibition. So Y is not with N. Or N and Y, I just would probably do this and cross it off. And then lastly, Z performs at the O. Oh, I love rules like that.
Where I know.
O and Z are together. So I'm going to do this and put a box around it.
I have a question. When I graphed it, I don't know if it makes a difference. Let me see. I numbered it so 1 through 5 going this way, and then I made columns for art and music. And then I don't
think it matters. You just did it back. Or I like how I did it better because I think of like day 1, day 2, day 3.
Yeah.
Where it's like I feel like I view mine more as like a calendar. Where the fact that you went up and down isn't wrong. I just go think about it. Like that's more like I feel like that's more. Whereas if yours was, I mean it's not wrong what you did by any means. I just think of
Okay.
So what I would do here is I definitely would do worlds. What do you think I'm going to make my worlds off of?
J, K, L, and T, V, W.
Now, what do you think is the most constrained variable?
Oh.
Like where it's like if we knew like where we're like we could definitely put this if this has like a limited number of places it could go.
W?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to create 2 worlds. One where I put W in number 3 and one where I put W in number 5. Because those are the only 2 places that it can go. So I'm going to erase this. All right. And then I'm going to look at this and feel like, okay, so now that I have that done, I can cross W off at the top here, which is nice. And so in either one of my worlds, can I determine where anything else goes?
So TV in the first one would be T would be 1, B would be 2.
Excellent. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think there's really anything else that we can do.
Yeah.
So here I would go into the questions then. There's not great inferences that we can make. But let's go ahead and start with question number 1, which is our typical first question here. And so what I like to do on the first question is just use my rules and do process of elimination. So go ahead and, so I would read number 1 and be like, okay, so it has to go JKL, and I would just read through every answer choice and see it. Okay, does it go JK and L? And if not, I would cross it off. So can we cross any off because of that one?
E.
Excellent. All right, so now what about based off rule number 2?
Let's see. So for the Timmons one, right?
Yep, I actually can't see anything. I think they all agree to me.
Yeah, they all.
So I would, so I would skip over that one, and then I would look that Wilson does not perform force. So can we, like in the 4th week? So can we cross any off because of that?
A.
Excellent. All right, and then what about the 4th rule, which is Yoder does not perform with N?
D. I don't think there's one.
Yeah, I don't see one either. And then for the last one,
I was gonna cross out D.
Excellent. Okay, so we must have missed one.
Yeah, that's what I'm like trying.
JKL, do we have JKL in all of them? Yes. Second one, JKL.
No,
we don't have, C. We could have crossed C off as well. So our answer is B. Excellent. Okay, so now let's go on to question number 20. So how would you start to solve question 20? Or what would you do first?
So I would use World 2 and plug in Vega in 3.
Yeah. Okay, so I totally agree. So we're going to put Vega in World 3, or Vega in week 3. And does that mean anything else for us? I can't really see anything other than the fact that we have to have T before this.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and start with A. And then we're looking for what must be true.
So it'd be B. Huh?
Yeah, look how easy you did that. Why is it B?
Because World 2, W has to be. W can only be in 2 places.
Excellent. And it must happen. Sweet. All right. So now let's go on to question number 21. Okay, so if T performs at the J exhibition and V performs with K, which of the following could be true?
I would use World 1 to plug in.
Yeah, I would start with that. I would probably try to do both. I'd be like, okay, so if I have J with T and V is with K.
Okay.
Which could happen in the last one too. But let's see if we could find what could be true starting. So like could J
In the last one, the second world, it could work.
I think it could potentially somewhere, right? Like, but I would probably how I would go about solving this one is I would look, okay, so which of the following could be true? I would look for something that is like very that I think could probably happen. So, like, for example, like the Jackson exhibition is in the 3rd week. So I don't think the reason I don't think that one would happen is like, so if we put this here, it would have to be JT KV, and then it would have to have L up here. And I'm like, O can't be with Z, or O has to be with Z somewhere, but N can't be with Y.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I don't like that one. But where I would probably read through these and be like, which one do I think could work? Oh, I didn't mean to cross that much off. And start with that one. So which one do you feel like it's like just by reading the rules and kind of knowing what the rules are saying, do you think would be a good one to try next?
Let's see. D or B? Not D.
B or D. I actually thought D as well, to be honest.
Yeah, D or B.
I was thinking, okay, because if we put Y, I was thinking if we put Y second, what world do we have to be in?
Y second. Oh, sorry. 2.
2. Yeah, I like that, and I was like, okay, so let's put Y 2. Y can't be with. Oh, I should have that on the bottom. Y cannot be with N. So I know this is not N. So I'm just gonna put that randomly somewhere. I'm just gonna put it here. And let's see, like I feel like O and Z could go here then. If T performs with J, so it would be JT. If V performs with K, so KV. And then this would just put L. Oh, that doesn't work because yeah, J and K can't go. But can we switch their order? Oh no, because it says Z performs, or sorry, it says Y performs second. Okay, so that one didn't work.
Okay. B.
You said E.
I think B.
B. Okay. So if N is 4th, so I'm gonna put N in 4th in both of these. Wait, isn't this what we just tried?
I think we tried D.
Or I feel like we ended up with N, but it's totally fine. Okay, so let's try A first. So we know that this can't be Y. So I'm gonna put Y here. But O and Z can't.
Oh yeah, O and Z. Okay.
So now we can try it in this last one though.
But if it's not true in one, then it can't, right? Be in.
No, it could be true in the other because it's what could be true.
Oh, could be true. Okay.
So let's see, like what happens if we put like OZ here? And then we have
no, because JKL.
We have K and V.
Oh, wait, maybe.
No, because we can't have N and Y together.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, so that one didn't work. All right, so do you want to try C or do you want to try E?
Maybe E.
Okay, so Z performs in the 3rd week. All right, so if Z is in the 3rd week, that has to be world number 2. We know O is with Z, so that's nice. So if T is with J and K is with V, now what would we do in this last one?
The next one has to be L. I mean, not the last one. Yeah.
All right, and then what do we have left then?
Y.
And then N would be here, right? That works.
Okay. So it's E, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so then what I would do is I would skip 22 and go straight to 23.
Okay. Why is that? What did you see?
Because I like to do my, after that typical first question, I like to do my if questions first because I think they're easier.
Okay.
They help me like learn the rules better.
Okay.
So if V performs in an earlier week than K, which of the following must be true?
Okay. So should we like do where V wouldn't be? Would that help?
So if V is earlier than K, I know that it's like going to go, it has to go like T, V,
Mm.
K at some like, and then L, right? Like at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I'm thinking that maybe it's that like L could only go fourth or fifth now. So that's kind of helpful.
Let's see. L can only go forward. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
But we can see this. Okay, so I would probably, this one then, I probably wouldn't do a lot. I would just read through the answer choices and think like, okay, could like, so for example, A says, the Jackson exhibition is an earlier week than T. Must that be true? I don't think that has to be true.
I don't think so.
So but since I didn't try it, I'm just gonna put a dash beside it and skip it because I don't think that's worth trying.
Okay.
B says the K exhibition is earlier in the week than Y. Does K have to be before Y? I don't see any reason why that would have to be, so I would put a dash by that one and move on to. The L expedition is earlier in the week than W. I don't think that would have to happen either.
Yeah.
The N exhibition is in an earlier week than Y.
Could be.
Mm-hmm. And then the O exhibition is in an earlier week than W. Does O have to be before W? I kind of like that one.
Yeah, I think E is it.
And then that's the one that I would try out. And so how I would try it out is by making it not happen, right? Because if it has to be true, like if it's must be true. So so in world number 2, O is going to be before W no matter what. So then we're only working with world number 1 then. And so I'm gonna put, so if O is earlier than W, we can
Wait, sorry, why are we working with one?
Because I want to make it not happen.
Oh, not. Okay.
Must be true. I like, in order to prove that it must be true, I'm gonna try to make it like, work.
Okay.
Or like the opposite, like, like make something else happen. So and the reason I'm not using 2 is because we have W last. So O is gonna be before W no matter what.
Yeah.
And the issue here is whenever we have O, what has to be with O?
Z.
And so that can't happen.
Okay.
Right? Because we have
O. Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Then over here, if we put O anywhere, Z has to go with it. So like O couldn't go here. So yeah, that's why that's C.
Makes sense though.
All right, and then lastly, number 22.
Cannot be paired.
Would I read something like this where my mind automatically goes, since there's 5 spots, is like, ooh, I want to try to find an answer that potentially has like J and W or T and L together and try that. Because like I feel like there's like a lot of, they could technically be together, I think. But I think that would be tougher.
Yeah, because it's later.
Right. Or I want to look for something that has like O and Z together, like with something else.
Okay.
So like if I was looking through this, like just my thought process is like J and V, like I feel like there's a good chance that could work. It's like they're not that far different.
Yeah, I see.
K and Y, I don't have an issue with. Like L and T would probably be one that I would want to try earlier than others. N and V, I don't really have an issue with, and N and W, I don't really, so I would probably try L and T first.
Okay.
So if they're going to be together, what world do we have to work with? If L and T are together.
The first one.
Well, can we put L here?
No.
No.
Yeah, sorry.
So we're going to work with our second world.
Mm-hmm.
And if L and T are together, so it's going to, so it would have to be JKL. And then we would have to put TV down here.
Yeah, that won't work.
Why doesn't it work?
Because of O and Z have to be
Excellent.
together. Okay.
And that's why it's our answer.
Okay, makes sense now. Thank
How
you.
do you feel about that?
It makes sense.